Sakshi tula shanot neza no na jo na sagre stay chiza tula say ndisa don anu akayan japchon nangeket na shin doshen lektion chon slonen vocal ni la con ingles creaky vowels. Hi there. I hope that you guys are keeping up. So today we're gonna learn about creaky vowels and about the different vowels that there are in Zapotec. So this is the last vowel that we're gonna learn this is the last vowel that we're gonna learn. So I hope that you guys are reading the book. I'm not going to talk about every single thing that's in the book. So, and I think that the best way that I can use my time with you guys is by going over the words, saying the words so you guys can hear them and also learn them, pronounce them, and be able to just listen to a word and then be able to transcribe it. So I think that's the best way I can use my time for you guys to learn. But I still hold you responsible for everything that's in the book. So I hope that you are doing that on your part. Cayenes, drinking water. So anyways, we already talked about 3 other types of vowels. If you guys remember, we talked about modal vowels, we talked about plain vowels, and we talked about breathy vowels, right? So now is the time to talk about creaky vowels. And one thing that we need to know about creaky vowels is that they are represented by a grave accent. And if you guys can just look at my screen at the bottom of page 32, right? So you see that's right here at the bottom. So that's represented the vowels with the grave accents, not unlike the Spanish accent, but the one that goes the other way than the one that you use in Spanish. So that's grave accents. And so whenever you see a vowel with a grave accent, it means that it is a creaky vowel. So now you might wonder what is a creaky vowel and how do you what's the sound of it? So let's start then on top of page 33. And just one thing about creaky vowels, that it never stands alone, such as the other vowels that we've looked at previously. If you remember, for example, the Czech vowel, for example, kiss, C-H-A-T, it's chat, so it's just a vowel check, right? Nothing else. But with the creaky vowels, as I said, it doesn't really stand alone, so it always needs something else after it. As in the examples that you guys are seeing right now, which is want, and again, I'm gonna be pronouncing this set of words for you. So let's start right away with those words. So listen carefully, please, so that you can identify the creaky vowels in this word. So it is pronounced rkas, rkas. And I'm going to continue. Back, back. Next, dish, dish. Vdo, vdo. Again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say them twice, and hopefully you guys can follow. Or make a pause so you guys can say it. So and again, I can stop saying that the only way to learn it is by saying it, emulating, and try to say it the same way I do it. And I know that, sometimes it varies a little bit between speakers, but if you are able to say those sounds, the different vowel types of sounds, that you'll learn that you're good. So let's start with those examples. So I'll say them twice, a little pause, and then hopefully you guys can join me. Okay, so here we go. Rkas, rkas. Back, back. Dish, dish, vdo, vdo, rdu, rdu. An interesting word is there, beck. It's a sound that we don't find either in Spanish or English, right? So it is not a U, it's rather the, as we talk about the sounds of W and Y's earlier in the consonants, that it's not really, it doesn't sound like a U sound. So if I'm gonna say it as with the word dog, the way it is spelled there, and also I'm gonna say with the U in front of the C, so you can hear the difference. What I'm talking about, that W, it's a sound that we don't find either in Spanish or English. Okay, so pay close attention, please listen. Back, back. And now if I were going to put a U in front of the C, instead of W, it would sound like this in Zapotec, Beku, Beku, right? So it's not really what we're saying. We're saying Beku, all right? So again, practice, with practice, you'll begin to hopefully master those sounds. So let's continue with the creaky check plain vowel, which is another set that we have right following the previous set of words. So it has this falling tone, and we talked about high tones and falling tone. Now we're talking about falling tone. So it's like going down, if you will. So listen, and hopefully you can hear the falling tone on this word. Tas, tas. So we have a creaky vowel, a check vowel, and a plain vowel. So one more time, I know this cluster of different vowel sounds is really hard to hear, but believe me, everything is there when we pronounce it. So one more time, tas, tas. Okay, and the next one, which is a child, mni'in, mni'in. Okay, so we have an M and an N. So you start almost closing your lips like tight. Mni'in, mni'in. Okay, so it's a child, and then we have this dog again. As you can see, there are a couple of ways of saying dog. So it's back, back. Okay, so don't worry about if you didn't hear the difference. You'll eventually get it, but it's it's when one hears a word that we're not familiarized with, sometimes we just we miss something there, but that's you don't have to worry about that right now. Let's just continue and trying to say the different clusters of different vowels, which is we have next we have some vowels that are very creaky. So as you can see there, that's vowel creak, and vowel check. So this is like in the morning, right, when you are groggy and you want your coffee and like so is that in the morning. So listen up. Nah. One more time. Nah. Nah. And then snake, bell, bell. Garzi, garzi, guts. Church, ido, ido. Room, goob, goob. One more time. Mna, mna. bell, bell, garzi, garzi, ido, ido. So as you can see, it's much, much creakier than the one we heard first. And we'll make some of the comparison later once we are done with the going over this word, so you can understand why it is important to keep this in mind and be careful on the vowels that we pronounce, because if we change a little bit the sound of of the vowels, it can mean something else. And again, going back to this idea of that Zapotec, at least Valley Zapotec, and the one that I speak, it really matters about the tones, okay? So the next one is we have a vowel, creaky vowel, followed by a plain vowel. So, and that is pronounced dine, dine. You can hardly hear the creak, right? But believe me, again, the creak is there, because if you didn't have a creak, right, it would be dine. Remember, we talk about tones. So it's dine. So the creak is kind of low and then it rises. So the next one is rbes, rbes. There's a creak on the first E. And then continue on page 34. Hits, again, again. Charcoal, bo, bo. Person, boing, boing. Okay, and then we have the next set of vowels. So we have a creaky, plain, plain vowel. Okay, so listen, the pronunciation, nan, nan. The next one, sneezes. Well, that one was mother, right? Sneezes, chesh, chesh. And the last one is money, mul, mul. Okay, so that has a rising tone. So it started low, low. It's because of the creaky vowels. So creaky vowels tend to be kind of low, but then it rises, right? So we talk about the rising tone and the plain vowels. So again, we have more examples here, which is plain, creaky, and check. So let's say them, and then you hopefully can try to say them with me or after me. So here we go. Up. Yeah. Yeah. One more time. Yeah. And then we have meet. Well. Well. And if you guys remember the other word, which is, let's see, on page 33, just very quickly, which is snake, bell. Okay, and now let's go to meet, bell, bell. I don't know if you can hear the bell and bell. So that's why it's important to recognize these sounds. So meat and snakes, they're spelled the same, but yet they're pronounced different. So continue with these examples on the plain creek check vowel. So let me start again. Yeah, yeah, well, well. And mije, which is an ethnic group in Oaxaca, mish, mish, thigh, good, good. Okay, so as you can see, we have three different types of vowels here, which is a plain, creaky, check. Okay. So the next one, we're going to be looking at two plain vowels, right? So we saw the single plain vowel pronunciation at the very beginning, but now we're going to do the we here, like the two plain vowels, which we didn't talk about at the presentation on the plain vowels. So let's look at this example here. So wabas, rawi, rawi. So just listen for the and the I sound, okay? So we already saw that we had two words earlier for something to make a word that makes something plural, and all the wabas, if you guys remember. Okay, so one more time on the wabas, we have two plain vowels right here. So right now we're just concentrating and learning how to use the pronunciation guides, guys. So just just focus on that, please. So let me say that word again. We, I'm just saying the we, and I'm going to say the whole word. So rawi wabas, okay? So just not to forget our little friends, our long friend, the E with two dots. So what do we do when we want to represent the creaky vowel with E with two dots? So let's look at that briefly here. So also the E with two dots has all of these vowels, vowel types, right? The four vowel types that we talked about. So let's look at this one, which is the organ cactus fruit, which is called tsu, tsu. And then in the pronunciation guide, if you guys look right here, that's the E to that breathy. Tsu, tsu. I hope that you can hear the breathiness of it. And then when we have the creaky vowels in that vowel, what we do is that we represent it with a hat right here. Okay, so it's tsu, tsu. So we have a creaky vowel and a check vowel. Tsu. So whenever you guys see in the pronunciation guide an E with a hat, right, which is not part of our spelling, but it's just part of the pronunciation guide. So just be careful and don't freak out, like, what's going on here. So we're just saying that that E to that is creaky. So that's all. And then the next one, it's 10. So let me pronounce it for you. So it's tsu, tsu. So it's a creaky vowel, and then we have a check vowel, okay? So there are two ways of saying it, as you guys can see. Some people say tsu, and then some people say tsu. Okay, so the last example, I think, let's see, a couple more. So the most common place that you guys are going to see the E with two dots, it's at the end. It's at the end of the word. It's the ending part of a word is added to another word. For example, bakwang. It is a dog. Bakwang. So we'll get into this a little bit later. We'll get into explaining, this complex word. But for now, if you guys remember that bak, it's just dog, right? But if we say it is a dog, and then we add this little to it, so we'd say like it is a dog. So we say bakung or tiopeng, right? So don't worry about this. What this means is right now we're just concentrating on the vowels and how the E with two dots is used, and mostly it's an ending word most of the time. So anyway, so this concludes our time for today in talking about the creaky vowels, and I hope that you guys will practice, because now you have 4 different types of vowel that you learn about, which is the plain vowel, the breathy vowels, the check vowels, and the creaky vowels. But remember that there's also a combination of all of them, and it might seem a lot, and probably it is a lot, but don't worry about it, because for us sometimes, as a Zapotec speaker, I never thought about it until I actually started teaching it. So I have also learned about it and recognized it, and hopefully that whatever I can do to help you be aware of those different sounds and pronouncing them, well, I think that the best way to do it is just by trying to repeat and as much as the way I say it. And also, I remember that sometimes people say words differently, and when you're speaking the language, you don't think about it. Sometimes you just say it. So hopefully, you don't have to stop and think, and when you hear it, just emulate it, just the same way I say it. And I hope that will help or be very helpful for you to learn the language. All right, until the next time. So that's it for today. So ren tebilo tula kawan di shi tula abilo bien leksyon chom Jerusalem leksyon per uli way uli ni radish ket kwesen ni det tin chira kwe un tidish na pare ni uni te well zen well na pare ni uni parchile yani ke kun chiru kwe masha sharni uni tula salos ijahan